Welcome back to Cut No Corners. This episode we're going to dive into one of our topics. We mentioned last time that we're going to attempt to do different topics every episode. Something that can be relatable, that the viewers can comment on, weigh in, diss our thoughts. Agree with us or disagree.
So in this video, we decided to pick one everybody's thought about. What would you choose if you could choose any single superpower?
That's right. What superpower would you choose? Why? How could you use it in real life? Like, what are the practical applications? What would be
it for good? Would you use it for bad?
Yeah, would you somehow become evil? What would you want to do with it, and what would you probably actually do with it?
And as always, in the background, we'll be playing
some random game.
Fall Guys.
At the moment, Fall Guys, because it's quick and easy, and it's a free game.
Well, it was free to anybody who hasn't downloaded it at this point in 2022. Probably free.
Yeah. Anyways, superpowers. What would you pick and why, Joe?
Well, Corbin, since we didn't introduce ourselves, personally, it's a tough question. I've always been fond of invisibility.
Really?
I've always thought that would be a really cool thing to do, just not be able to be seen.
Like, what do you want to use it for? Because all I'm picturing are like those 80
line of a roller coaster.
Okay, that's way more innocent than where my mind went. Okay.
Whoa, keep it PG.
All I could think about was like all those 80s raunchy movies and like what they would do with invisibility.
I don't know, I just always thought it would be cool. I would probably use it for bad. Just because it's easier. What do you use it for good for? What would you use invisibility for good?
You're right. Well, you technically could probably find some way to use it for espionage. It would be a tough life. I mean, invisibility only grants you the ability not to get seen, right? You'd still have to deal with transportation, the logistics of feeding yourself and keeping warm if you're in winter, like in Russia or something, spying.
You don't solve those problems. You still can be heard. You still can be smelled.
That's right, yeah. And if there's rain pouring on you, wouldn't rain still like just bounce off of you and you could be seen that way?
Originally thinking of this topic, invisibility comes to mind. I have no clue.
No clue on Earth.
I died.
I had to go across the map and I got it.
So, we didn't play a perfect match in our first video. But perfect match is one of those ones that it's not difficult. It never is very difficult. But it's one
the person who just died.
There was a article on what type of Fall Guys player are you. I always got the fruit amnesiac. I can be looking at every single fruit square, and the second they flip to which one it is, it's gone. Mind blank.
Yeah.
So, back to the topic. If I was going to choose, invisibility is the first one that comes to mind. If I had to, thinking a little bit deeper on the topic, I've always been interested in being able to read people's minds.
So like Xavier?
Slippery slope, yeah.
That one I could see a lot more practical applications. Because with invisibility, all I see is cheating somehow, thieving, stealing,
The same thing with being able to read people's minds. But...
Well, with mind reading, you could gain information that you would otherwise not be privileged to. So that could be used as cheating. But, you could use it to...
Again, would probably use that for villainous activities.
Yeah, there's not really too much you could do to help people with that. You could be an excellent police interrogator. And you could say the exact right things that would push criminals' buttons on that table with the one-way mirror. You could actually save tons and tons of people by getting people actually convicted that would otherwise be set free because there's not enough evidence. And if they get a confession knocked out of them with you there, pouring out their deepest, darkest secrets and them flipping out, wondering how the hell you know this stuff, that could be a good use for mind reading. But then again, you'd also probably have nightmares based off of the things you saw. You'd also probably have a lot of headaches because there's a lot of... Is it something that you could turn on and off? Or is it just a constant...
In my mind, you decide when and who you want to use it on.
Yeah, but if it's like a biological ability, how do you turn that on and off? I mean, our hearts just pump automatically, you know, our ears just pick up sound automatically. Why wouldn't your mind...
It's my dream and I'm living in it.
Like, what would you flex? Like, you'd flex your
duodenum.
Flex your duodenum and your powers activate?
Yes. Ouch, my duodenum. Well, I've given it my thoughts. I'd like to hear your opinion on this. What would you choose?
I have several choices because I cannot narrow it down. I've talked to my wife about this several times. She's got her choices too. Some of my top tier picks are teleportation. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Jumper. It's got Hayden Christensen. Oh my god, we are losing this fall ball. God, is he saving that? No, they're not. We have 2 goalies and both of them are incompetent. In the last 5 seconds too. Look at those goalies doing their job on the blue team. So, powers. Teleportation is super practical. Think about all the travel expenses that goes into day-to-day life. You gotta get groceries. Bam! Just pop yourself over to the grocery store. Don't feel like spending money. Grab the grocery you need. Pop! Back with your groceries.
It sounds like you're using this for good, is what I hear.
Well, this particular example, it's more conveniences from day-to-day necessities, or more like wants. Travel expenses on the wider scale, if you want to go to Europe, visit Brazil, want to go surfing in Hawaii in the morning, and then in the afternoon, you know, have a crepe on the Eiffel Tower, just pop, 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 have a lot of money because you teleported inside of a bank vault and stole a buttload of money.
So are you keeping this power a secret?
Absolutely, because if anybody found out, there's nothing that you could do to stop them from capturing you in your sleep.
And couldn't you just teleport away?
I mean, once they captured you, you could, but if they keep you sedated and comatose, because they're like, this guy is a mutant freak, we can't let him get away, he's also a huge thief, and we also want to dissect him and see if we can't replicate his powers, that's something the government would totally do. So that's just one of my choices. The other choice is having the super soldier serum as shown in the Avengers movies for Steve Rogers, Captain America. It is extremely physically fit. It's not just about physical fitness and like strength and speed and stamina. It's also longevity. It is health, because he doesn't get colds. He doesn't get the flu. He actually has an extreme regeneration as far as like a rejuvenative like healing factor. It's not anywhere near like Wolverine level, but let's say he broke his arm or something, which would be extremely difficult because he can like fall at terminal velocity and not break a bone. Let's say he did, whereas something would take months or weeks for a regular person to heal. He could heal that in like a week and a half to days. Another reason I would prefer like his strength level, because some people be like, well, why don't you just want to be like as strong as Superman or something? That's totally impractical, because even if you had like Spider-Man's strength, Spider-Man can lift 10 tons above his head. He can lift 5 trucks above his head. That's before he got peak strength Spider-Man. That was while he was still 15 years old. If you were to high-five somebody, you'd break their arm into 1,000. Their arm would be a bag of rubble. Captain America's strength, he's like peak human potential, the strongest person alive on adrenaline, and just a hair touched past that, technically without being labeled superhuman, which he definitely would be superhuman if he existed. You can use that practically in many senses. Just overall health, you could join the military and actually be a super soldier, or my selfish practical use would most likely be UFC fighting. It'd be like the best UFC fighter the globe has ever seen and will ever see. The other power, having the ability to use the Force, to be Force sensitive. Like ideally, you know, like Luke Skywalker, Vader level. It would just be, because that's actually, having the Force is like having multiple powers. You can have telekinesis, so you can have physical fitness, because you can augment your own strength and jumping and speed. Like you can jump 50 feet in the air with the Force. Pick things up with your mind. You can even
read. You get a saber?
No. This is purely like biological power based. This is not technology based. In the Star Wars universe, people who have the Force build their own lightsabers with their own like Force sensitivity, like instincts. So that might be a thing. Kind of like how Spider-Man instinctually he invented his web shooters. With the Force, you also have things like precognition if you get good enough. Like they're able to have visions and hyper awareness around their surroundings, and they can also even like read minds and emotions, and I don't know, it's just a whole cornucopia of powers in one thing. Practical uses, most likely that's something you'd keep a secret to yourself. I don't see a way you can get away with using the Force in public. I mean, there's small things, like if you were to move something slightly with the Force, but if you were to jump 50 feet in the air, that'd be pretty sus. Like, for practical reasons, there's not a whole lot, to be honest. Like, if the government were to capture you, it would be relatively simple for them to do so. Because you're still vulnerable to things like bullets.
My only weakness, bullets. I mean, yes, you have the reflexes to block laser blasts. Bullets in our universe are way faster than blasters. What are your thoughts on super soldier serum, teleportation, or the Force? So I think the commonplace thought of superpowers is like flight, teleportation, all those fun ones. You took it to the next level of nerd. What? That's part of the topic. And you made it. Hey, I'm not saying it was outside the topic, but I'm giving all the viewers, all of you two viewers now, because this is our second video. All of them. You can go anywhere you want with this topic, and we want to hear your thoughts. We could even go deeper into things like why other powers would be bad to actually have. Flight, for example. If you had flight, you would most definitely also want super durability like Superman has. For example, I motorcycle, and if I'm riding around without a jacket on, and if I'm hit by like a cicada at 50 miles an hour, that feels like somebody shot me with a paintball gun. Let alone if you're flying at 400 miles an hour, you are gonna, like, if you hit anything, you're gonna be obliterated. And also temperature-wise, like temperatures, as you go higher in altitude, oh my god, I just fell through so many layers, I died. So if you were to go up, you know, above sea level, even to the height of a mountain, I don't know if you've climbed a mountain recently, but even in summertime, at the base of the mountain, one temperature. When you get to the top, 20 degrees cooler. If you're flying around on a 50-degree day, when you go up in the sky, you're gonna go down to below freezing. Did you win? You just won? I won. My god. Alright, so that's gonna be in the video. You won. I never win hexagon, by the way. This is your second hexagon win. Of my 23 wins. 23. I'm at 21 wins. So yeah, you need a combination of it. We're saying just one, but like your point, you're gonna get cold as get out frostbite, trying to fly up that high. And also lack of oxygen depending on how high you go. And you would need goggles. Because you ever stuck your head out the window? You ever stuck your head out the window of a car without goggles? You can't open your eyes or breathe. But what about talking to fish like Aquaman? In theory, that sounds like it'd be cool. All they do is eat poop and make more fish. They have nothing on their brains. Even if they could talk, it'd be like one-word sentences like food, poop, sex. There's no way that they could have any interesting conversations. That would actually be somewhat intriguing to see if and how much cognitive presence dolphins have. It has been discovered that they have self-awareness. Like, they've seen them recognize their own reflections to be themselves. Besides humans, they're one of the only animals to have ever done that. I'm actually watching The Boys right now, and there's a character on there called The Deep. He's basically a ripoff of Aquaman and has that ability that you're describing, and nobody respects him because that's basically the gist of his powers. He just talks to fish, and every now and then he tries, like, oh man, I was talking with these mackerel up in the north waters or whatever, like, they're a rowdy bunch of guys, and he said growing up, like, whenever he goes to pet stores or like Red Lobster, there'd be those lobsters in the tanks or whatever just begging for their lives. Save us! That's their take on that ability, which is also not very practical. So I say nay to the talking to fish power if I were given the option. Well, Corbin's out on it, but somebody in the comments must want it. Yes, all one of you. Let us know your thoughts. You, watching this right now. You, Ashley. We will comment back. She will not watch this. Probably. Megan. The likelihood that Megan watches this over Ashley is pretty good. It'll likely be Doug. Shout out to Doug. Doug, the best player we know. We'll comment back. We're here for you guys. What superpower would you have? Why? What are your thoughts on our arguments? Corbin's were much more fleshed out than mine were. Yeah, it's like you've never thought about this before.
But yeah, let us know. I mean, there's still more to this.
Any superpower you want. I don't remember what color we are.
Me neither. We're pineapples.
Blue chip we didn't get to in video 1. The pineapple outfit is the secret agent outfit, and it works especially well for tinks.
Secret
the pineapple will always look like this. What you see right now on your screen, this is what the pineapple looks in any team. Yellow, red, green, if you're playing that 4-team tail game. Blue.
Oh, apparently we are blue.
Exactly like this. He will always look exactly like this, so it is very difficult to tell. But let us know your thoughts. Any superpower you can think of. Flight, super strength. If you want to be Hulk, you can be Hulk. I don't know about
you would not want to be Hulk. If we're talking literal Hulk, you black out and wake up who knows how much longer later. No idea where you are. You could be in another country because of how far he can jump, and you could have potentially killed friends and family, or just innocent bystanders.
Last guy, I was the last blue guy, running around for like 10 minutes, but oh well.
It wasn't 10 minutes.
So let us know what you think. We want to hear your thoughts. You heard mine. It would be invisibility or the ability to read people's minds. Corbin, he flip-flops on the day-to-day, from the super serum to the ability to use the force.
Or teleport.
To that third one, teleport. That's the one I forgot.
I'd probably use super soldier because that's the most low-key one.
Let us know what you think about ours. Let us know what you guys want. Well, that'll do it for us for this video. This is Cut No Corners. I'm Joe.
I'm Corbin. Enjoy the rest of your day, and
Come
goodbye.
Back, subscribe. We're here for you. Bye.
Bye.